You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest. First timer on Ron Siegel Radio, Shaun Hurley. First team is with us. Welcome.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, it is a day that ends in Y, so we're celebrating on Ron Siegel Radio. Yeah, well, let's see what we're celebrating. So, National Mother's Goose Day, Global Love Day. We need that one for our day that we're doing on the town. That way we can use that for our romantic day from Visit Anaheim. International Workers Day. Okay. May Day. Happy May Day. It is May Day. May 1 is May Day. Okay. Ushers in a traditional celebration of flowers and spring. Hope I don't need to go get any flowers for my wife today. I'm not going to do that twice in the same. Of course, she'll get mad at me if I do it for Mother's Day. National Loyalty Day. Principals Day. Okay, I've beaten anorexia, so we're going to go with National Chocolate Parfait Day. That looks good. A lot of whipped cream on there. Yeah. Drooling over here, Josh. I'm drooling. Let's take a look at the market, see what's going on in the markets today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 89 points right now. Wow. And we're looking at the S&P 500. That's up 7.43. The NASDAQ is down 6.67. Oil down $1.49 a barrel. Mr. President, if you're awake yet, I know it's early for you. It's just a little after noon in the East. Oil's down $1.49. You could start filling the strategic petroleum reserves. You said you're going to do it under 80. We're at 75.29. So maybe that's an idea. We'll take a look and see there. Gasoline prices. Do we even want to know about gasoline prices? $4.87 here in the formerly Golden State. $4.87. Round the horn, Josh, you're at 426 right there in Nevada. Jody's at 470. Brittany's at 349. Britt in Colorado, 349. 318, our tremendous underwriter Lori there in Louisiana, 318 a gallon of gasoline, and we're at 487. Isn't it special to live in California where we get taxed on everything and taxed on the tax even? $1.09 about in taxes and fees here in California. I can get gas cheaper in Hawaii. Maybe I'll go do that just for fun. Let's see what else is going on today. First Republic Bank. Okay, they're gone. Another one bites the dust. So JP Morgan Chase, they got most of the assets this morning. I wonder if JP Morgan Chase was smarter than Wells Fargo. When Wells Fargo, if you remember, back in 2009-10 era, back then, when Wells Fargo took over, I think it was World Savings that took over Wachovia. Well, they did it. They took over the whole bank, and it wasn't just a partial asset takeover. And then Wells Fargo, after they help out the government, they get the shaft for all of these mistakes that some of these other companies made. Wonder if J.P. Morgan was smarter than that. We will see. But we're watching all of these things for you. First Republic Bank, another one bites the dust, all having to do with people. Well, the Federal Reserve. Just call a spade a spade. The Federal Reserve is the ones that did this to them.
Such an idiot.
Yes, I know.
Such an
So
idiot.
if it wasn't for the Federal Reserve falling asleep, keeping interest rates too low, too long, when they had the opportunity in 2021, when anybody with half a brain, and I think if you add all the people up at the Federal Reserve, they might have half a brain, anybody would have been able to see that we had a problem coming on the horizon. What was that problem? What's called interest rate risk. And the Federal Reserve should have been watching that, and they wouldn't have had to do what they're doing to you and me right now with raising interest rates so much. Now, on Wednesday, even though they should not, the Federal Reserve is going to increase interest rates again. Why shouldn't they do that? Well, because on the 10th of May, I've been telling you this for 4 months now. The 10th of May, we're going to start seeing interest rates dropping. The CPI number will come out better than, again, it's not just something new. I've been telling you this for 4 months. We're going to go back and we might even have to get that clip, Josh, if I'm right, on the 10th. For the 11th, we'll need that clip from January when I actually said May 10th, circle the date. That's when you're going to start seeing the CPI numbers coming down, the Consumer Price Index. Why? It all has to do with real estate. It has to do with shelter costs. We've known that shelter has not been increasing at 8% for quite a while, right? FHFA tells us that. Case-Shiller tells that. Every metric we have tells us that, except for the Federal Reserve.
Idiot.
Yes, I know they are. So they just keep on doing the same dumb things over and over. Stop that. They keep doing the same things over and over again. They're looking at in the rearview mirror. They're data dependent. Well, they're old data dependent. If they would be current data dependent, they would not increase interest rates this week because now we've got the third bank failure. There will probably be more. We're seeing that the credit is dropping. The money supply fell off the roof in the last few weeks. I've got charts for that if you want to see it. So money supply is way down. Try going, and we're seeing that interest rates for credit cards way up. Auto loans, the prices for autos has doubled. 17% of the folks now have a auto loan over $1,000 a month. Really? All of these things, and obviously the Fed funds rate has gone crazy. It went from 0 to 5.5 now, 5.25. All these things that could have been eliminated if the Federal Reserve was watching what was going on or tuned into Ron Siegel Radio, because we've been talking about it for a while, but they don't. So here's the issue. We have to deal with where we are right now. So interest rates are higher. I've shared with you before. We've got the two-step program, and I'm not a dancer, rsr2step.com, rsr2step.com. We've got that program to help you. I know you say you've got a 3% loan and you're not going to refinance. Why? Probably because no one showed you the benefit of refinancing out of a 2% loan and get rid of the car payments and get rid of the credit card payments, and maybe get rid of your mortgage 10 years faster by using a loan, even though it might double your interest rate on the current loan. All of those things, we're going to talk about those in the days and weeks to come. Or if you have questions immediately, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I just looked at a scenario this morning, saving $1,300 a month, going from a 3% mortgage to a 6.5% mortgage. $1,300. You know, well, Ron, I can still make that $1,300 payment. Good, make it. Pay down your mortgage to 11 years instead of 30 years. Just throwing that out there for you. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, how do you deal with a changing housing market? We're going to talk to Shaun Hurley about that. The Ultimate Mortgage Refinance Guide, everything you need to know. We'll talk about that. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. The replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit RonSiegelRadio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Every day at this time. I'm sorry, the Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. Again, when you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. Give me a call, 800-306-1990. 800. Love that when you're trying to give a phone number and you get the hiccups. 800-306-1990. Every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. Let's take a look and see what the loans locked at on Friday. Remember, we do not have APRs. They don't tell us that. We don't have how many points were paid or received to get these rates. They just give us raw data. All the numbers we're watching right here, they all went down on Friday. 30-year conforming loan down 6.447. 30-year jumbo loan down 6.487. 30-year FHA loan 6.38. That one was down. 30-year USDA loan 6.46. That was down. And the best loan on the market for those that earned it. You can't just apply for this one. You have to earn this one. It's a 30-year VA loan, 6.098. Every one of them down on Friday. Unfortunately, today is not Friday because the markets are going the other way. 10-year Treasury is up 13 basis points. That means that bond is down. The yield is up. S&P 500 is up 6.16. Mortgage-backed securities are down 31 basis points. That's about 1/3%. But remember, that's the bond is down. That means the interest rates are up. So and so here's the issue. Just remember that nothing matters today. We've got the Federal Reserve announcing their stupid decision on Wednesday. And we already know because there is a mole. There's always been a mole. So the Federal Reserve right now uses a gentleman named Nick Timiraos from the Wall Street Journal. And he was on CNBC this morning where he said the banking situation gives the Fed room to hike 25 basis points on Wednesday. That means the Federal Reserve will be increasing interest rates 25 basis points. It's not his opinion. When they were going up 75 basis points, they told him. He came out the day or two before and announced it. When they were going up 50, when they were going back down to 25, Nick Timiraos knew all those numbers ahead of time. Why? Somebody at the Fed is letting him know that. That way the markets have an idea and they don't like shock. So we know what's going to happen. But here's the issue. We also know that tomorrow we've got the job openings and labor transition report. Wednesday, we're going to have the Fed. We're going to have the ADP employment report. I think that's the most important of all the employment reports. Why? Because it uses 25 million actual records of people and what they're doing with their jobs. On Friday, we're going to get the BLS jobs report, which is more the BS jobs report, because they do a survey of a small sampling of people. We're going to get the household survey. They do a small sampling. Nothing like the ADP report, but those two will be what moves the market is the Friday reports. Just throwing that out there for you. So today, if you're thinking about getting a new home loan, smart. Don't lock it today, but it's smart to think about it because I shared with you in the last segment, there's a lot of people that are getting their finances in order. And it's smart to do that and get whether you take action or not, I will guarantee one thing, and I don't guarantee a whole lot on Ron Siegel Radio. Nobody ever gets hurt with getting their finances, getting educated on their finances. You may not take action, but the education of your finances is not going to hurt you. Get our app. It's free. You can monitor your credit, monitor your budget. You can take a look at what your properties are available for sale, 97% of the country, rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. And you can find out what your property is worth. Now, it's going to give you 4 different tools to monitor to see what your property is worth. 4 different tools. 3 of them are pretty good, and we'll also tell you what Zillow has to say. Generally not quite as good, rsrmoney.com. That's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So we get to learn today. Shaun Hurley is with us. He's with First Team. Welcome.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you for having me.
So you've been around a day or two, seen a market or two. We've been chatting here a little bit. And you're actually an educator as well. Now, you're an educator in real estate. You can help people understand what's going on in this market. Is it, should we sit on our hands and not buy a house? Should we stay in our tent, maybe rent? What are you telling people right now?
Wow, boy, that's a good question. Easy to ask, a little bit more difficult to answer. What's going on?
I got the easy part. You get the hard stuff.
Well, what's really happening is quite unusual. Ordinarily, you hear about the stock market. And of course, the stock market isn't a stock market. It's actually a market of stocks. It's the same with real estate now. It's not a real estate market, which we would consider to be a homogeneous market where all housing and all areas are the same. What's developed since COVID and since the Fed's increase in these interest rates is we've seen the real estate market become micro markets. That is that in any particular area, you may have real good demand and real good activity, but other areas are not doing so well. So it really boils down to real estate becoming a hyper local conversation. So we really need to talk about where we're talking about, what areas, what neighborhoods, to understand what's happening today in the micro markets of real estate.
So,
Yeah.
so tell me, where's your expertise?
Well, my expertise, I'm really a salesperson, real estate broker, a fiduciary to my clients. But I've always believed that the best way to have success in sales is to shorten the distance between 2 points, point A and point B. And in order to do that, especially during a transitionary market like we're in today, you have to make some changes in your approach in dealing and communicating with your prospective clients. And those are very important elements if you're going to continue to have success as this market is changing.
So I'm the client though. So what am I looking at? What am I, so you're focused, what, Dana Point area?
I work all over Orange County.
Okay.
Great.
So let's look, maybe that I have it right here. I've got Newport Beach on my screen. And, I'm looking at Newport Beach has a whopping, for the whole city, 39 houses, single family residents available for sale.
Right. Well, basically South Coastal Orange County is considered the Riviera of Southern California. And these areas along the coast have very high demand still and very little supply. Once you arrive at the beach and you've got that beautiful ocean view of Catalina with the sun setting, where are you going to go? Where is it going to get much better? So people have a tendency to stay in these prime areas and not loosen up and liquidate. So the supply is fairly low. Yeah.
So what do I do if I wanted to live there? I mean, am I just out of luck, or are there, as a real estate agent broker, do you have strategies that you can help me with to maybe find something if I wanted to live there?
Well, what I'm doing specifically for clients is we're focusing on off-market properties. So we're soliciting sellers that are not on the market, but could be sellers. Because, remember the old rule, every property is available at the right price.
Sure.
So as long as we can reach out into the market sort of clandestinely and find potential sellers before they were to list property, or bring in buyers to see those properties that are not officially listed, we're doing our clients a favor by developing off-market fresh inventory where they don't have to compete with other buyers. That would be the first step. Second step, Ron, as you know, this is all about financing. Unless you're paying all cash, you need to be prepared financially. So you would call, for example, you want to speak to yourself and with Geneva and get pre-qualified, actually pre-approved all the way through underwriting, so that when you do submit an offer, those sellers know that you're as good as cash. So you need to be prepared. So you need to find off-market property in addition to what's on the market, and you need to be prepared financially. Now, a lot of people will be searching Zillow, Redfin, Trulia, but the reality is 30% of the transactions that are happening today are off-market. You'll never see them on Zillow.
Wow, 30%.
That's correct.
That's a lot.
Because you're including not only just off-market properties, but other expired listings now where the seller may be still interested in obtaining an offer. You've got probate sales where they may never be advertised. There's a variety of sources. In addition, of course, we're doing some door knocking if we need to in a specific neighborhood for a client, or we'll be sending out some very specific mailers to those homeowners that may be interested in entertaining an offer, but they're just not interested in listing their property officially.
That's an interesting concept, because right now with such a small amount of properties on the market, it goes back to something that's really, really very basic. And we're gonna hold that basic thought. If you want to buy a house, if you want to own a house, there's a basic concept that I'm going to talk to Shaun Hurley about when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. 3 factors affecting home affordability today. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference in the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com, great tool, free to you. It's going to help you monitor your credit, monitor your budget. 97% of the properties available for sale across the country, they are shown right there. And you can also monitor the value of your property, not going forward. This is a historic look. There's 4 different services right there that we're going to present prices to you at. There's going to be 3 of them that are good. It's going to also give you Zillow so that we know you're going to go there anyway. So why not just go to rsrmoney.com? 3 factors affecting home affordability today. There's been a lot of focus on higher mortgage rates and how they're creating affordability challenges for today's home buyers. It's true that rates climbed dramatically since the record low we saw during the pandemic, but home affordability is based on more than just mortgage rates. It's determined by a combination: mortgage rates, home prices, and wages. Considering how each one of these factors is changing gives you the full picture of home affordability today. Here's the latest. Number 1, mortgage rates. While mortgage rates are higher than they were a year ago, they've hovered primarily between 6 and 7% for nearly 8 months. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a chart right now of mortgage rates that, I think I just said that, hovering between 6 and 7% since September. Mortgage rates have experienced some volatility during the period, and even a small change in mortgage rates impacts your purchasing power. That's why it's so important to lean on your team of real estate professionals for expert advice to stay up to date on what's happening in the market. While it's hard to project where mortgage rates will go from here, many experts agree they'll likely continue to remain around 6 to 7% in the immediate future. Remember, I'm guessing or forecasting by the end of summer, low fives. Number 2, home prices. Over the past few years, home prices appreciated rapidly as the record low mortgage rates we saw during the pandemic led to a surge in buyer demand. The heightened buyer demand happened while the supply of homes for sale was at record lows, and that imbalance put upward pressure on home prices. However, today's higher mortgage rates have slowed down price appreciation, and the truth is, home price appreciation varies by market. Some areas are seeing slight declines, while others have prices that are climbing. Selma Hepp, chief economist at CoreLogic, explains, quote, "The divergence in home price changes across the U.S. reflects a tale of two housing markets. Declines in the West are due to tech industry slowdown and severe lack of affordability after decades of undersupply. The consistent gains in the Southeast and the South reflects strong job markets in migration patterns and relative affordability due to new home construction." To find out what's happening with prices in your local market, call a trusted real estate agent or give me a call at 800-306-1990. I will put you in touch with one. Number 3, wages. The most positive factor in affordability right now is rising income. Again, we've got a graph below the Bureau of Labor Statistics to show how wages have grown over time. This is average hourly earnings of all employees. Pretty sharp trend there. Higher wages improve affordability because they reduce the percentage of your income it takes to pay your mortgage, since you don't have to put as much of your paycheck toward your monthly housing cost. Home affordability comes down to a combination of rates, prices, and wages. If you have questions or want to learn more, give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Get the app, rsrmoney.com. Get that app so you can start working on your budget, figure all these things out. We will help you with that however we can. And remember one thing right now, because I hear this over and over again. I can't walk anywhere. Prices are going to crash because there's going to be a ton of defaults and foreclosures because people can't afford their house. Well, the fact of the matter is, ain't going to happen. How do I know it's not going to happen? Because I look at the numbers. I have a great team of people that help us all the time, and we're always looking at default data. And as of last week, I think it was on the 25th of April, all of Orange County, notice of defaults, there are 544 for the entire county. 544. Now, you don't go to a trustee sale until you go to a default. You don't always go to the trustee sale, but if you're in default, you could end up there. There's 324 of those. Hasn't changed hardly at all since the numbers I got in February. So just be aware. These things are, there's not going to be a lot of them, and there's a lot more people out there looking to buy houses. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment, brought to you again by the area trusted real estate professionals, rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. We are chatting this morning. Shaun Hurley is with us. He is with First Team Real Estate. He's an expert on this stuff. So we were talking before the break, and we're going to continue talking about this idea. You know, I don't get paid to say this. It's my show. I can say whatever I want. Well, within reality. But the bottom line is, if you were listening to what Shaun was saying earlier, one of the things that he didn't say it, but I will. You need an experienced full-time real estate agent to help you if you're thinking about buying a house in this market. I'm going to say in most markets, but for sure in this market. Did you hear Shaun say that 30% of the transactions are off market? Do you think your neighbor's best friend's dog walker's 80-year-old aunt who sold a house in 1970, one house, but still has a real estate license, knows where those 30% are? Shaun was talking about something that was real basic before. And Shaun, I'm going to get to it. I think that basic means, I have a friend of mine who said, if you want to be somebody's real estate professional or mortgage lender for life, you better talk to them during their life. right? You're kind of saying the same thing as if you're going to try and find properties that aren't on market. How do you find those? You got to talk to people.
That's right. It comes down to face-to-face, belly-to-belly contacts, and
I got
really,
an advantage there when you talk about belly to belly.
okay.
Just throw that out there.
Yeah. But you've got to roll up your sleeves. You got to roll up your sleeves and go to work. But you have to know what to do, where to go, how to do it, what to say. I mean, there's complexity, obviously. You need to really understand who you're talking to and what may be most important to them when you have that conversation and how you have that conversation. But interesting, though, as you mentioned, Ron, about interest rates going up, one of the solutions that we've been providing for our clients as we find off-market properties is we'll have the seller provide buy down for that buyer, a rate buy down, either temporary or permanent. So instead of that buyer paying, let's say, 6.5% on a 30-year fixed, they can have the seller pay some points and maybe buy that down to maybe 4.5%. And that will facilitate not only just a lower payment, but also qualifying and a happy buyer and a happy seller.
That's massive. That's massive. And see, those are strategies that come from experience, right? I mean, there's a lot of people that don't understand how to do that, or I hear a lot of people right now talking about these 2-1 buy downs or 3-2-1 buy down. It's good for your budget, but it doesn't help you, what you said, qualify for more.
Right. And typically we're going to talk to sellers when we approach them with a client to say, look, we want to help this buyer buy your property at the price you're looking for. And we want to get a little bit of help. And then, to your other point about, we do hear some buyers indicate, well, we're just going to wait for prices to come down. Well, as you've indicated, this is probably not likely in those micro markets. There are real quality areas, quality neighborhoods with quality schools. Quite frankly, you're better off to negotiate the price in your favor, and motivated sellers will appear. The question is, will you be ready financially to make that move when the opportunity comes?
That's the key. If once a seller says yes, there's only one direction you can go.
Yeah.
Right. So the idea is you want to be ready to move as quick as possible. Right. So if you can get a 10 or 15 day escrow, it's a lot better for you. And I love your concept, because you and I didn't even talk about this before we went on air. The idea of, I refer to it as a payment assistance plan, right? Because so many people don't understand buy down. You do, because you've been in the industry a long time. I understand it. I've been doing this for a long time. The average person, I don't know that they know what a buy down is. So we actually have come out with something called rsrbuydown.com, rsrbuydown.com. And we walk through these different examples, because it's spot on, exactly what you're saying. We were showing folks all weekend how to get that interest rate into force, right? And you don't have to ask the seller to take that big a haircut, because you can actually even increase the purchase price to cover it if you have to.
That's right. It's fair compensation to both parties. It's a win-win. It's a true middle ground to get business done.
And again, that has to do with experience. You're knowing that this is available, to having the lending partners that know how to do it the right way, so it doesn't trigger the high cost and predatory lending violations.
Yeah.
Right. And knowing where those sellers are. The sellers, again, Shaun made a great point. And I when you talk to realtors, Shaun, how many of the realtors get frustrated? They say, well, I can't find any sellers that want to. Maybe it's because they're looking at the wrong, they're looking under the wrong trees.
Well, they're conventional agents, with all due respect, and they may not really comprehend what other alternatives are there to produce or provide supply of property or homes for sale for those clients that are looking. It's challenging, but it can be done, and we're doing it every day at our office.
Well, I just looked this morning, and I think the average loan amount right now is 42%, right, of what people have the loans on their properties. So if somebody's got 58% equity, they may be willing to trade that for something different. Now, they've got the ability to. It's not like they're underwater on their property and can't sell. They've got an opportunity there. If somebody's, if you've got a death in the family or a divorce, there may be an opportunity strategically. You can go and look at those people and talk to those people.
That's right. That would be either through divorce cases, probate cases, a lot of our attorneys that bring us properties under both of those scenarios. So yeah, there are opportunities to find those off-market properties, get that lower interest rate and lower payment. You can buy now, and frankly, I don't think people should wait if they have a real long-term perspective, 4, 5, 6, 7 years or more. Because what's happening is, contrary to what you might think in the economy, most of South Coastal Orange County is doing just fine. Partly because, again, the inventory is low and we're not seeing a flood of properties come on the market. Why isn't that happening? Well, nobody wants to give up a 2.5 or 3% interest rate. So they're going to hang on to what they've got. They're going to stay, they're going to remodel. And this is what's created the dearth of supply that we're wrestling with today in the real estate market here in Orange County.
So here's this. When we come back, I want to talk about this solution to the 2.5 to 3% rate dilemma. And maybe there is a solution here. I'm going to ask Shaun about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. I know that because I started helping people do loans or get a loan in 1983. No, there weren't FICO reports back then. But, I've never seen a credit report that's completely accurate. Just seems the way it is. Great information here. Appreciate this. Facebook user. Always love Facebook user. So if you want to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and you actually will know who you are. Don't forget the silent home owner not wanting to sell, also contributing to loan. Great information right there. I'm talking about hundreds, if not thousands. Reverse mortgage is a great product. And for some reason, we haven't figured out yet how to depart in a different manner. So we're all going to die at some point. So, and those reverse mortgages, I've shared this. So when my mom passed, I had a letter from the reverse mortgage company, I think before the funeral. It might have been a little bit after, but pretty close. She had a reverse mortgage for years and years, loved it. Great product for the right person, just like every loan product. Not for everybody, for the right person, they're great. And yeah, you're right. It is overlooked a lot. So I want to get back to my conversation this morning. Shaun Hurley is with us. He's from First Team, and we're chatting about a lot of information here about, I'm going to throw this out there. I think that we can prove anything we want to prove. There's no houses available to buy. You can prove that. There are houses available to buy. You can prove that, right? Whatever your mindset is, you can actually prove it. So there's a lot of people out there saying there's nothing available, yet you've already told us that 30% of the properties are off market, 40% of what you're doing is off market. So you're out there finding a way to do it.
That's right. Absolutely. So we talked about the buyer side, but we haven't really talked about the seller side. When we meet with sellers, there are sellers out there thinking that they're going to wait for prices to continue to go up. Well, that may not be a reality. So there's no guarantee there. And if they're looking to cash in on their equity, they should probably do that sooner than later, because you never know what might be coming around the corner.
We know what today is.
We know what today is.
Right.
Some sellers are asking me, well, where would we go? And of course, my response always is, well, where would you go? Where would you like to go? What plan do you have in the next 2, 3, 5 years that you could accelerate and start making that move today? So this is more of a real estate planning than it really is anything else. But there's lots of
life planning too.
Life planning, and I actually consider myself more of a real estate planner because I have to sit down with people and find out who they are, where they've been, and where they want to go.
Sure.
If I don't know the answers to those questions, I'm not properly guiding that client.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, one of the things I hear a lot, and I've got a solution, and I want to hear yours, is okay. So I've got a 2.5 or 3% loan right now. Why would I want to move? Right. So my thought is, okay, so if you sell your property, and let's just say you've got a $500,000 property and you've got 30% equity, we know that the stats are on average 58% equity. But let's just say, because I'm a simple guy, you've got $250,000 in equity in that property. I could probably go out and buy another property based on the strategies you and I talked about earlier of getting a buy down. So we're in the 4% range. I don't know what you're going to qualify for. That's doable, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be doable.
I could, if the seller's not willing to help, I've got $250,000 in equity. I don't have to use that all. I could use that to buy down my own loan, right?
That's right. You can use your own equity to buy down that purchase loan as well. Yeah. And remember, Ron, we don't want to lose sight. One of the primary benefits and reasoning behind buyers buying property, especially first-time buyers, is they need tax benefits. Real estate is probably one of the last bastions of tax shelter that you're going to find, basically to minimize your federal and state taxes. So if you're paying a little higher on the interest rate, you're writing that off. All mortgage interest up to $1 million, your property taxes, some of your insurance perhaps could be written off. So there are benefits by paying some interest. It's not a bad thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Especially because the only bad part is if you're living out in the tent, right? Most of us want a roof over our head. So, that you got that benefit of having that roof over your head. It's supposed to rain this week. We don't get too much rain in Southern California. This year we have, but you want to have a roof over your head. So the tax benefits are, boy, we know in California there's taxes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I like to tell clients when we're talking about the purchase price and their mortgage debt, the truth is, and this is from my own experience, having paid off probably 8 or 9 mortgages, the mortgage debt you take on today is usually your net worth tomorrow. It's
okay.
a forced savings plan.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Otherwise, if you didn't have that mortgage, all of your money is just going to the wayside paying rent, and you have nothing built for the future.
100% interest there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
I mean,
right.
it's all the rent is going 100% interest, or you got 4, 5, 6%. Now, I have shared with people, Shaun, and I think you'll understand this one real quick. I look at a rate chart and I see rates going anywhere from 4 to 7.5, and every one of those rates are really good for the right person, right? If you've got a short-term hold, you might want to be at a 7% and get more of a rebate to minimize your closing costs. If you're on a short-term hold, long-term hold, you might want to buy down the rate to get the lowest rate.
Right, pay some points to get that payment down. And you could do the calculation, Ron. Maybe it's a 2 or 3 year break-even point where after
Right.
the 3rd year, they're completely in the black and they're making money.
Exactly. So again, it goes. All of these things are having your real estate professionals, the people that are guiding you, working together and understanding what your short and long-term goals are. Right? It does not matter what my goals are. That's irrelevant. Doesn't matter what your goals are. But our goals are to make sure that the person we're sitting across the table from, we can do our best possible to help them achieve their goals.
Well, yeah, of course, Ron, you're a fiduciary as a broker,
Yep.
myself as a fiduciary. People oftentimes don't understand that or the difference between a broker and an agent, but we always have to put the client's interest before ours.
Right.
Bottom line.
Yeah. And there's a lot to it. So what's important here, and I hope you're getting that as you listen to us this morning, or this afternoon, whenever you're listening, or the replays on any of our social channels. But the whole concept here is understanding that whatever your perception is going to be correct, right? And if you're talking to a realtor who says, there's nothing to sell, I can put you in front of 500 realtors who just closed a property last week, right? I mean, there's people out there, or have got something in escrow that just did sell, or that helping a family buy. Because you're understanding I talk about 6 Ds, Shaun. I don't know if you've heard me talk about this on the radio, but you've got the diplomas, diamonds, and diapers. You've got the death, the divorce, and the defaults, right? Those things are going to go on whether the economy is good, whether you like the president or don't like the president, whether you like the state or don't like the state, whether you think the market's going to go up or go down, interest rates up or down. Those 6 are always going to happen. We don't get to control those.
Yeah, they are rubrics in the industry, as well as housing being an intrinsic value. Everyone needs a place to go and park their car and a roof over your head and raise your kid.
Exactly.
Got to have housing.
So when you're out there talking, you're probably got your sensors on from, if you're talking to Mr. or Mrs. Smith, you've got your antenna. Are one of those 6 Ds in their life right now, or do they know somebody? Right? That's got to be the easiest way for you to find that 40% of off-market properties that you're looking for.
Well, it is. I think as a salesperson,
right,
which I am, you have to remember that there are 5 outcomes of any sales call. Of course, the simple answer is yes, we're interested. No, we're not interested. Permission for future contact. But one of the most important ones that most agents and salespeople overlook is the referral.
Sure.
Asking for the referral. Even though that particular person you're talking to may not have interest, they may know through their network any number of people that may be looking to either sell or buy. That's another avenue of opportunity.
Yeah, so you've a lot right there, but it only happens when you're talking to people.
Face to face.
Right.
On the phone, I guess you could text, but it's person to person. However you can get in a human dynamic where there's some emotion that can be generated, that's where you need to be.
So you don't want to hire a secret agent.
No secret agents. No
Right?
secret agents.
Yeah. So the idea is, so how long have you been doing this, Shaun?
Oh, gosh.
I'll put you on the spot here.
long time.
So we don't need the exact number. What I'm getting at is you've probably got an extensive database of people that you can talk to every day.
I do. I have my database of past clients is about a little over 300 people. That's a lot of people.
Sure. And I think the number is and I should have a calculator open because I'm slow, but those 300 people, if they were going to have a wedding or an anniversary party tomorrow, they've probably got 150 to 200 people that they can invite.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So if you're talking to them and you go out and have coffee or sit across the table from them, or tough life, but he's in the beach community, so maybe he's sitting out there on the beach having a happy hour
with my surfboard,
with your surfboard.
Yes, with the surfboard,
right? So you can have a conversation with them and say, something, who do you know that might need my services today?
Exactly.
Right. Or your surfboard has a big realtor sign across it, right?
I'm not really self-promotional. I am kind of under the covers. I like to fly under the radar.
Under the radar, but successful. So you must be doing something right.
I guess if you've spent 30 years in this business and you've made it this far, you are doing something right.
It's amazing information. If you want to meet Shaun, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'd be happy to put you in touch with him. South County beach or coastal communities.
I work all over Orange County.
Well, when you have that many people in your network, if they decide they want to, sell their house in Yorba Linda and move to the beach, you're going to help them.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You're going to get both sides of it. So if you want to chat with Shaun, you want to have that conversation, again, give me a call at 800-306-1990. Happy to put you in touch with him. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Shaun who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.